everybody, Nigel here, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and this is a bit of an extra video for the engine of the Airfix 124 scale Hellcat. If you've seen my previous video on the FAA version, then you'll have seen me machining this and getting the diameters down so that everything fits together like this, and I've also done a video about it on the US Navy version as well. I believe this was part 5 on the FAA version and part 9 on the US Navy version. It's been raised a couple of times about making this as a resin conversion piece, which I'm going to do. So if you're watching this in the future and you've already bought the resin piece, this is what you're going to get, and it's going to be basically a crankcase with the block in the end that will fit your engine parts will fit onto, and it will save you the need to have to machine it if you've got a lathe, or having to do all the sanding and getting it all to run dead true and everything. Unfortunately, the Airfix parts are much too big. What you can do is sand the halves down until the parts fit on, but apparently one of my followers said that it doesn't end up quite round, but that's going to be a problem. And the other thing is, you've got all different, there's less to come off of this diameter than off of these two diameters, for instance, so making it all fit is going to be quite awkward. So I'm making this as a resin aftermarket piece that you'll just receive like this with these parts already on. So it's going to change the build sequence slightly, and the reason I'm putting these parts on is because of this awful seam. You can see around here, I haven't glued this in yet, but basically I will use this as my master, and it will all be filled and blended, and it will all be one piece of resin, and you'll be able to go from there. So if you've bought this and it's the future, you need to watch this video because I'm changing the build sequence. If you haven't bought this or not intending to buy this, I'm going to suggest a different build sequence anyway. But what I need to do in this video is show you how to fit everything and how it's going to work with this already on there. So my suggested change to the build sequence, let me get the instruction manual in front of you, make sure it's all in. Yeah, got it all in there. Okay, so if you're going to build this from the kit and you're not going to use my conversion, you're going to make this fit and turn it, sand it, whatever, my suggestion is to do this section here, 150, okay, and then jump straight ahead to 193. So that's gluing these two parts together here, and then 194 is fitting them into the back of the crankcase. So after step 194 you'll have this. Then go back in the instructions to 168 and fit these parts to the front cover. 169, 170, fit those parts to the front cover there. So that's 168 to 171. Then go back to 161 and fit part J13 to the front cover, and now you've got that all together, and all of this is all ready to be painted as one assembly, so you won't have all seam lines. Remember, you haven't fitted any of this to the crankcase yet. Okay, once you've done that, go back to 151. okay, dry fit the ring, dry fit the push rods, glue these cylinders together, dry fit them, fit these parts, make them out of wire, whatever you want to do. 154, dry fit that on. 155, glue these parts together, fit these, make them out of wire, whatever, dry fit them on, dry fit the push rods. Okay, so that's 156, and then dry fit the front cover on like that. Okay, so now you've got an engine basically which looks like this. Okay, so whether you've done this from the plastic parts or you've got my resin part, you've got this, and this is all dry fitted. What I suggest doing then, now I haven't tried this yet, I'm hoping it's going to work. Fit all of these intake tubes, so 162 to 166, fit all those tubes to this ring only, so glue them to the ring only, so have them all dry fitted in there and let them set on that ring. And then afterwards you'll be able to remove the cylinders, remove everything, and you'll have that ring as an assembly that you can paint as one piece, rather than having all these glue joints everywhere and messing up your paint job. Because once you've glued all this together and painted it and everything, remember once everything's all in, you're not going to have any chance to touch anything up. And once those tubes are in and you start rubbing the paint off of here and you're rubbing them on there, so that was my suggestion, is to make that intake ring up so you'll have this basic sort of ring with intakes on it, and you'll be able to disassemble all this, paint that, and then you can put it all back together. So then go back to step 151 here and glue all these parts on all the way up, okay, and then when you get to 158, you do 159, 160, add all your wires on if you want to, and then you can jump forward then to 172 and carry on the whole build sequence to 192, which is here, okay. And this is where I need to show you, this is critical. If you've got the resin conversion, you've got this now in front of you, and you've got your engine all painted up and your intakes are in and everything, you've got this assembly here. Okay, this is all taped together. I've glued these tubes together, but this is just taped together for this video. So I've got this on here, and there will be a lump on the back, this gearbox part here, whatever it is. That's glued on the back, so I haven't put that on, that doesn't matter. What you've got to do is now fit this over there. Now remember, the kit doesn't have these parts fitted on yet. What they do is tell you to fit them afterwards. And if you can imagine trying to get in there and sort that seam and everything once this is on, it would be a nightmare. So if you're doing it this way, or you've got the resin part, this is how you fit this ring on. Find the wide section where you've got a wide gap, hook it over, okay, and it will go over just like that. And then with a little bit of force, just flick that bottom over until it goes over there, and then the whole thing will slide forward, and then you can index it to where you need it, pop that in there like so, and then glue the intakes around here, as you can see, okay. And then if you want to take it off, you just get it in the same position, bring it round. You're always looking for this wide gap, just pop that over the edge like so, and then it'll come off. So I'll show you once again. So if you've got the resin part from me, this is how you fit it. Fit this over get the wide gap over there like that, give it a turn, give it a twist, pop that over there into that wide gap there, pop that over like that, and then you can orientate it to wherever you want it, push those parts together, and then it all goes together as normal. Okay, so once you've done that, then you can carry on with 195 and go all the way through. Sorry, I've missed out one step. You've done up to 192, now you need to go back to 167 and fit this rear cover. If you fit this rear cover when they suggest in the instructions, okay, you will not get this part on. This part will not go over. Okay, so basically you need to fit this last. You can put this on at the very end, it doesn't matter, it's sticking out the back of the engine. You can see here it's you know, you could probably do it here if you wanted to. You could probably even put it on later in the instructions if you want to. On the very end, it's there's nothing stopping it going on. So that is the build sequence. So I'll go through it once again. Okay, so if you've already got it, switch off. If you've written it down, switch off. 150, or buy my resin part, and then go straight to 193, 194. If you've bought the resin part, ignore 193, 194, it's already on there. Then go back and do 168 to 171, that's gluing your parts on the front cover. 161, J13, glue that on your front cover. Now your front cover's done. Then you're going to dry fit all your engine together. So dry fit 151, 152, 153, 154, 155, 6 and 7. Okay, then glue the rings onto the intake ring. Okay, and then take it all apart, paint everything, get it all nice, and then you can glue it all together. And then go back to 158, fit the ignition ring, and then 159, 160, do all your wiring and everything, and then forward back to 172, add your cowl mounting ring, and start adding all the exhaust pipes, So you can go all the way then up to 192, where you fit this as I just showed you over those parts. It will go over. You just have to be careful with it and make sure you take it off the bottom side first. Don't try and get it around these first. Hook it around them first, like so, and then once you've hooked around, it'll go over, and then look for the wide gap. Get that to go through the wide gap, like so. Okay, so I'll take it off again. Get that to come round. Just no, it won't come. It will not come off that side first. So you need to take it off of this side first. Typical in front of the camera, it won't go. Take it off of there first, like that. Just pop that over the edge, and then it comes off. Okay, so there you go. It's that simple. So you've done all that, went up to 192, and then go back to 167, and then go to 195. Carry on and build the rest of your engine. Okay guys, so I hope you've enjoyed that little quick 10-minute video. I think it's about 10 minutes, and thanks for watching.